A debut holds monumental significance in an artist's career, serving as the embodiment of their artistic vision and the essence of what they aspire to convey in their future works. It's the culmination of narrative, tone, lyrics, production, and visuals, all meticulously crafted to lay the foundation of their identity and brand. For an idol who's debuted before, but more importantly has worked tirelessly within that industry to garner love and support for a certain cute image, it set implicit expectations for her eventual solo debut. Chu's release of the EP Howl was met with open arms and confusion, mostly because of the title track, similarly named after the EP. It was not what anyone had in mind for Chu's debut, while the rest of the record resonated more closely with the public's perception of her. The other songs were cute, bubbly, occasionally emotional, but consistently showcased her stunning vocals. Howl, on the other hand, revealed a vulnerable side that we had never seen before, sonically, visually, and lyrically. The song opens with a gradually swelling synth section, their timbre subtly shifting to create a sense of tension. Chu's vocals, drenched in heavy processing, felt distant yet all-encompassing. The backing track is purposely mixed to be repressed, allowing her voice to dominate the sonic space. This interplay between the drowned-out instrumental and the forefronted, heavily affected vocals crafts a dense, almost claustrophobic atmosphere. The melancholy is palpable as the reverb tail lingers, creating a haunting resonance. The rest of the song gradually shifts in both mood and tone, mirroring Chu's journey as she emerges from the fog in her mind to embrace the world outside her room. The progression is steady, building toward a hopeful message of healing and growth. This is a theme we'll revisit later, but for now, let's return to the intro. It's safe to say that the opening left a lasting impression on most viewers, making it one of the most memorable moments of the entire piece. The reason lies in the stark contrast it presents to Chu's established persona as a cheerful, cute artist. In those initial seconds, the song sonically reveals a different facet of her personality, one that feels introspective and complex. Personally, I find it frustrating when an artist shows another side of themselves and it's immediately labeled as revealing their true self. This oversimplification disregards the depth and multifaceted nature of human beings in general, but especially an artist's identity, as if they can't possess both the light and the dark, the playful and the serious within themselves. I bring this up because it seems that some interpreted this shift as Chu somehow shedding a false attitude to reveal a more authentic, quote-unquote, real version of herself. This interpretation is common, but it's reductive. It implies that an artist can only be genuine when they're being serious, which undermines the value of their happier displays. The visual elements of the music video also play a crucial role in reinforcing the song's themes. The color grading starts with muted gray tones, which sets a somber, pensive mood, aligning with the instrumental's sense of isolation. As Chu becomes more confident in herself and her self-expression, a noticeable change occurs in the video's color palette. The world around her becomes more vibrant, suggesting that as she grows internally, her external reality begins to reflect this newfound confidence. The return of color is a visual metaphor for the gradual return of hope and clarity in her life. The subdued palette, subtly shifting toward brighter tones as the video progresses, underscores the song's underlying message. Healing is a slow, ongoing process. It's not about an instant transformation, but about incremental growth, where each small step forward brings a bit more light and color into one's world. All of the implicit messaging about the intent of the song is made obvious by the lyrics. In the intro, again, the writing is straightforward, leaving little room for ambiguity. Quote, "Even if the world collapses, whatever, I'll be alright. Building up another layer of wall, it's okay, I'm safe here. Having to go out inevitably, I wear my cape of a smile. I don't want to be perceived, but I desperately want to be recognized." End quote. These lines encapsulate a deep conflict, the struggle between wanting to remain hidden and the desire to be seen. The contrast between the protective walls and the vulnerable yearning to be recognized mirrors the instrumental's juxtaposition of a claustrophobic soundscape with the eventual rise toward healing. The lyrics make it clear that the emotional weight behind the music is centered around the theme of self-protection. As the song progresses, it becomes evident that Chu is reaching out to someone else. From this point forward, the lyrics reflect a deep connection built on a foundation of security, something that only this person can offer her. Quote, "Why don't we save each other now, even though we couldn't save anything, let alone the world? Even if the world abandons you, I'm here. Even when God turns his back on me, you're there. In this battlefield-like city, why don't we save each other? All we have are scars." End quote. At the beginning of the song, the lyrics and the music create a sense of isolation, as if Chu is trapped within her own mind, wrestling with her thoughts and emotions. But as the song progresses, the focus turns outward, moving from solitary self-defense to a plea for connection. In the context of real life, this shift also broadens our understanding of Chu's persona. It shows that her journey is not just about navigating her own emotions, like hiding behind smiles, but also about finding strength and solace in her connection with others. When the song moves from introspection to connection, it reflects a broader human truth, that we often navigate our darkest moments not just through personal resilience, but through the support of others. All of these factors encompass Chu's intentional decision to shift tones, even for just one song. But why? Why did Chu choose this song for her debut? Why did she choose this song to represent the next chapter of her artistic journey? Well, this is a rare example in the K-pop industry where real-life problems impact musical releases. It's impossible to discuss Chu's debut without talking about the circumstances surrounding why she had a debut solo in the first place. It's common knowledge that Chu was once a part of the widely acclaimed group Luna, and was kicked out by her company at the time, Blockberry Creative, under false pretenses. It was nothing less than a shitstorm. BBC actively went on a witch hunt, trying to spread narratives around Chu's true personality to sully her chances at re-signing with another company. And when no one with more than 2 brain cells were taking the bait, they tried getting Chu blacklisted from the industry entirely. It was honestly a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to watch a company so desperate to crush a person they had built up to be so much bigger than them. Being that that was the last time the public had heard of Chu, many fans and casual listeners waited with bated breath to hear anything about the situation from her own mouth. In my opinion, I think Howl was her answer. I've made a pretty big deal so far about the effort put into this song. But if we're honest with ourselves, this is far from the first K-pop song to discuss darker themes and how it's important to keep looking on the bright side. But it is the first K-pop song where I find myself actually believing the artist behind the message. Maybe this speaks more to my naivete, but knowing the story of how Chu arrived at her current position, how it split up one of the most iconic groups in K-pop, and how she carries that burden to this day, makes Howl as authentic as it can be. Full disclaimer, I didn't stan Luna or follow them that closely. However, even then, it was obvious how close she was with the other members. And while officially aimed at her fanbase, the deeper message of Howl seems to be a form of tribute to the relationships she values. By pouring her emotions into this song, Chu might be addressing her old friends and reflecting on the impact they had on her life and career. For Chu, Howl also might serve as a form of catharsis, a means to process her experiences. Given the messy fallout with Blockberry Creative and the public smear campaign against her, Howl can be seen as Chu's way of reclaiming her narrative. For listeners, especially those who followed the drama, Howl might serve as a way to reconcile the public perception of Chu with her personal reality. It provides a glimpse into her side of the story, offering a more nuanced understanding of her growth. It can be seen as combating the quote-unquote Chu's true personality narrative by sharing something that more accurately represents her. All of this to say, I spent an entire video reading too deeply into a 2-minute song. Jokes aside, all of this is my analysis of the release, which at the end of the day is shaped by my own limited experience. Maybe it's right. Maybe I just spent 10 minutes projecting onto a song that was literally just meant to be dedicated to her fans. The world may never know. That being said, thanks for listening, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye!